if you kind of looking for the instinct that you're supposed to have, sometimes you got to study that animal to kind of see, okay, what is the Lord really saying? Because we read sheep all the time, right? Sheep, my sheep hear my voice. Well, I'm like, hold up. I'm sitting there, I'm like, you talk about sheep all the time, but I don't really know much about sheep. You know what I'm saying? But you know it's the basic stuff. But the more you study how sheep actually move, you're like, oh shit. You know, it brings out a better understanding as what's going on with us as a people.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 6.
Right.
My people have been lost sheep. Right. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Right. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherd have caused them to go astray. So now, when we went into slavery, when the sheep of Israel, right, us, when we went into slavery under the Edomites, what happened is that the new master of the house, right, the shepherd of the house, Esau, did something that's called hefting to our women, all right, to the herd. You got the word hefting? What?
This is the word hefting. Sheep hefting.
Yeah, speak loud.
Hefting is the basis for shepherding on an enclosed mountain or moorland in the British Isles.
Right.
This uses the homing and herding instincts of hill sheep.
Hold on. Slow down and speak. Speak loud and slow down. Break this down. Go ahead.
This uses the homing and herding instincts of hill sheep, making it possible for individual flocks owned by different farmers to graze open fells with no physical barriers between them.
Right. Read that again from the top slowly.
Yep, this is the word hefting.
Right.
Hefting is the basis for shepherding on an enclosed mountain.
Right. Because basically, you want to be able. You have sheep that have enclosed, gates to make sure they don't go anywhere. But you have to be able to set up a system where you don't have to have barricades and the sheep will not go anywhere. Meaning, you instead of having a physical gate, you create a system that psychologically puts a gate into their mind where the sheep will not go anywhere, even though it's an open pasture. That's why you notice why you see an open field and the sheep are not running away. Psychologically, they have a wall that's set up. It's a community. They have a wall that's set up, and that's called hefting, meaning they're all programmed to not run away. All right, and they're all programmed to teach the next generation, right, to be subservient and to not run away. Keep going. And the ewe, I think the ewe is a female. The ewe is a female lamb. She, hopefully, is going to go into that. She's the one. Well, keep going, bro.
This uses the homing and herding instincts of hill sheep,
right,
making it possible for individual flocks owned by different farmers to graze open fells with no physical barriers between them.
No physical barriers. That means you have to do something psychological to those sheep for them to not leave without no physical barriers.
We were talking about that earlier.
That's right.
My mom was talking about.
Go ahead.
Hefted sheep or heaped sheep,
right,
as they are also known as in Cumbria, have a tendency to stay together in the same group on the same local area of fells.
Right.
Throughout their lives, these traits are passed down from the iwi.
Now these traits. Now check this out. The traits, meaning the shepherd psychologically teaches the lamb to stay, right, to stay in the land without no walls, right. And it says these traits are passed down to the iwi. The iwi is the female lamb. Check this out. Remember, we're sheep, right? And you know who the female sheep is? Eve. Israelite woman. Read that again slowly. What?
Yeah. These traits are passed down from the iwi to the lambs,
right,
when grazing the fells.
Right.
In essence, the iwi show their lambs where to graze.
Right.
Hefted flocks are self-maintained flocks. The female lambs are kept to replace the older iwis,
right,
avoiding the need to buy in female sheep from other flocks.
Well, that's a different article. When you have time, because he's reading off of a different article. But when you just go to Wikipedia and you type in sheep and